Hi, I'm Cassie, and this is a Notion Daily Planner tutorial for beginners. So, the first thing we're going to do is start up Notion and open a new page using a shortcut. Command N. Great. And then we're going to call this page Daily Planner. Right. Make some space. The next thing we're going to do is create a new page in this page by using / and clicking on page, right? And then duplicating that. Now we have two pages. The first one we're gonna call archive, and the second one we're gonna call, oh my gosh, there we go, daily planner. Right, it's confusing now, but don't worry about it. Cool. So we have two pages on our daily planner page, archive and daily planner. Now I'm doing this because some people like to archive their entries, but if you're not interested in that, then you can just skip this part entirely. You can just have the one daily planner page and that should be fine. Great. Now we're gonna go to the second daily planner page, or the first if that's what you're doing, and we're gonna build here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is decide how we're going to use our planner. So if you're primarily going to be using your phone, then I would suggest that you leave the dimensions of the width the same and build upon this. But if you're going to be using your desktop, just like I am, we're going to have to lengthen this a bit by clicking on the three dots on the right corner and then clicking on full width. So now we have the whole page to play with. First thing I'm going to add is an icon. You can use an emoji or an icon of your liking. I'm going to upload my own, and I'm going to take this picture of tulips that I have and use that as my icon. And then I'm also going to add a cover. Look for something along those lines, like a minimalistic green. Right, so let's pick this. The first one. I don't like the plant, but I do like this off-white color, so we're gonna just keep that for now. Cool. So now we have our icon and we have our color. The next thing we're gonna do is click on these three dots and change the font. I like serif, and I do like my text a bit bigger, so we're gonna keep that the same. I don't like this thing over there, so we're going to remove it by coming here, clicking on customize page, and then moving it. I also don't like backlinks. Cool. Now the next thing we're going to do is list all the components that are going to essentially make up our daily planner. And because this planner is for beginners, I'm not gonna list a lot, just what I think are the essentials. And for me, those are a task list, priority list, a daily schedule, weather widget, because you never know with the weather, some place to write like quick notes, and an end of day review if I feel like it. Yeah, so these are the essentials for this planner, but feel free to add your own. Okay, so now we're going to do the fun stuff, and we're going to start by making a priority list, which we're going to put at the top. We're just going to add some space so that we can see what we're working with at a time. And I like to have 3 things as part of my priority list because I feel like 3 is like the most I can do in a day. So we're gonna start by creating 3 columns for our 3 priorities. And you do that by pressing / and looking for 3 columns. So now we have 3 columns. And then we're going to make squares for our not squares. We're going to make triangles for our priorities, and we're going to use callouts, right? And I do like the fern, but I kind of feel like a polar bear, although this kind of looks like a panda to me. No, it's a polar bear. As a design, and we're going to call this priority 1. And then we're going to click enter, and then do a line, and then a bullet. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is duplicate this and move it to the second column, call that priority 2. I would like this one to be blank, so we're gonna remove the color to default, and then we're gonna do priority 3. So now that we're done with our priorities, we're just going to move all these under these 3 columns and just kind of build as we go. So for the task, for the daily schedule actually, I want the daily schedule to be right here. And then I want quick notes to be in the second column. And then I want the weather widget to be in the third column. And then under that, oh my gosh, under that will be the task list. Right there. So let me just put a line in between just to differentiate. And then the end of review will be right here, which is fine with me. And let's get started with the daily schedule. Now the daily schedule, there are 2 ways to do it. You can create a table, like a basic table, right? And have the time and activity like this. Just make this bigger. Or you can have a table view database and do the same thing. Let's call this activity, and then add a text property. Where is text? And we'll call this one time, like this. Just put it under. I prefer this one simply because it's just easier to edit and I like the look, so we're gonna delete this. I'll move the time here, and then I'll start by adding a few pages, not pages but blocks, where we can put the time and then manually put all the times. I start by days at like 5 a.m. And I like to do things at intervals of hours, and it looks fine as it is, right? Just hide the database, but I would like it to look a little nicer. So what we're gonna do is highlight that and then click on mark as equation, right? And that makes it I don't know this font, man. It makes it cursive, not cursive. It changes the font, it changes the style in the font, and we like it. And that's what it looks like now, which I think is prettier. And I want to highlight it, so we're gonna change that. We're gonna add a gray background. Now it looks like that, but I also want it to be gray text. So yeah, and we don't do that for every single one. We just click and drag, and then edit the times. Alright, so we'll just end it there, and then we're gonna turn this into a quote, like a cute little title, and then we're gonna underline that, and then maybe turn it gray, give it a gray background, and that looks nice. So the next thing we're going to do is the quick notes, and we're going to do that by making a call out again, and we're just gonna call this quick notes, and then we'll add a line underneath and then add bullets. You can add like a normal bullet point, but I would like something different. So let's open up our emojis and then find, let's go that. We can also highlight this and make it bold. I do think that would be better, and let's make that green. Okay, so we have our quick notes. Now we're going to go and add a weather widget. The next thing we're going to do is add a weather widget, and we're going to do that by going to Indify, well, whatever. And once you've logged in or made your account, you're going to go to add new widget and click on the weather widget. We're going to call this, apparently I have a thing for Milan, so let's do that. We're going to pick a location. We're going to go with I think this is fine. Once you're done making all these changes that you want to make, then you're just gonna copy paste this link and then go to your Notion page. Oh, looks like that did not happen. Okay, there we go. Paste the link and then embed it. And now you have the weather. The task list is very much similar to the quick notes, except that instead of like bullets, we're using tick boxes. So we're going to do the same thing we did before, which is make a call out, and then we're going to call this task list. Let's change that. Let's bring back the cloud, I guess. And then we're going to press enter, add a line, and then / click on to do list. And there you go. That is your task list. I want this to be transparent, so we're going to change the background color to default and maybe make this bold. Shall we play with color? Make this green. Yeah, let's make the whole thing green. So whenever you type anything in that box, it'll be green. Ooh. And that is the task list. What we're going to do now is the end of day review, but what we're going to do first is create 3 columns like we did before. In the first and third column, we're going to create callouts like we did in the beginning, and those callouts are where we're going to write our answers to the questions we want to ask ourselves. And here in the middle, we're going to put a picture, just something cute. You can come up with any questions that you would like to ask yourself at the end of the day. The ones I'm going to do are 3 things I enjoyed doing today. Wow, I definitely need to practice my typing. And then 3 things I didn't enjoy doing today. And then we're going to make this a list. We'll leave it green, and then we'll give it a gray background. Now it looks like that. And then the next question, you know what, actually, let's just duplicate this. so we don't have to redo this again and again. Cool. So those are the questions I want to ask myself at the end of the day. You can make up your own, add more, add less, whatever you want to do. And then maybe let's move this here and let's make it and move it more towards the center. Let's make it cuter. And you need to put them squiggly things to make space. Okay, so now we're gonna add an image, and you can add your own embed a link or use Unsplash, which I think is a great idea. I'm going to add a picture I found off of Pinterest. So we're gonna add this one, which I think is cute. We're gonna embed the link. Oh, it is quite big, so let's just make it small. And we're done with the first part. And now that we're done with the end of day review and essentially the whole entire daily planner, we're gonna go back to the first page that we were at in the beginning and essentially do what we did to the daily planner, which is make it full width and remove the comments. Oh, guess I already did that. Now we're going to go to archive, and this is essentially where we're going to keep all the entries that we make, and you can store it however you like. I prefer to store it this way. So what we're going to do is make a page, and then we're going to call this 2024. This is going to be the year. And in this page we're going to make, you don't have to make pages, we can just do callouts and then call the callouts whatever month they are. So we're in November, so we're going to do that. And then right here is where we're going to put all our entries. And then we'll make one for December. Here. And that's where we'll put all our December entries. But yeah, there are different ways to do this. Do whatever's comfortable for you. Cool. And then you can just duplicate this. We'll call it 2025. You can add icons or not. So now that we're back to our original page, the first thing we're going to do is make this one look like the one we just worked on. The next thing we're going to do is go to this page here, click on the dots right next to it, and then turn it into a toggle list. Cool. And now what we're going to do is create a button. So you do that by clicking on / looking for button, and this is what we're gonna call new day. Add an emoji, maybe. The sun is cute, but it's green, isn't it? Okay, let's go with that. And then we're gonna say when the button is clicked, the action that needs to be done is insert. block. What you're gonna do now is take this toggle, duplicate it, and then insert it right here. And you can name it whatever, so maybe month, date, and then you click done. Great. So now when you have a new day, once you're done with this day, let's call it something November. I think it's November 17th. Right? Once you're done with this day, you can take it and put it into your archive right here, and then right here. And now you have all the things that you did on that day, right? And if you want a new day, you just click on the button. And now you have a new fresh page that you can work with. And this is essentially how you make a daily planner. If you're actually not that interested in making this, you can just go to the Notion marketplace and download it for free. Promise I won't be mad at you.